What's good? What's good? Not the topic of this video. I'll link the original video that I'm referencing in the description below. But last year, I had made a video titled Skids and Sads. I hope this is not reality. And so, if you don't know what skids and sads are, I didn't either until last year. But they are the progression of the concept known as SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. So now SCIDS is sudden child death syndrome, and SADS is sudden adult death syndrome. I mean, I thought, like just nope, okay. And so up until last year, the concept of skids and sads wasn't really a thing because like we generally were able to explain away most deaths. And so we didn't need these whole categories of like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? But we all know, no, we don't see, we say these things we all know, but we all don't know, which is why this video is being made. So now if you're questioning what is going on, it is very, very clear that I have referenced in other videos that we're being poisoned intentionally. And that's a scary thought. Cognitive dissonance kicks in and you're like, no, that can't be possible. Our government would never do that to us. Except like they totally would. And there are many, many examples, but here's just one example from history, the Tuskegee syphilis experiments. We'll throw another example in there. MK Ultra. Now that's like maybe a little different than poisoning, but that's more like mind control, which is mental poisoning. So when I talk about the fact that they are poisoning our minds, bodies, and souls, I am being quite fucking literal. And I don't know if you've seen this in your own personal life, but I have witnessed quite a few deaths in the last few years that really shouldn't have happened. Turbo cancers are now a thing. Have you heard of this? I had never heard of a turbo cancer until recently. That's not to say they didn't exist, but like the fact that all these new diseases are being mainstreamed and the fact that there is a dramatic increase in a variety of like cardiovascular issues, myocarditis, etc. And so I know someone who's one of the most healthy people I've ever met that developed a turbo cancer and is terminal. Someone in their mid 30s who used to run marathons. Another one of my best friends, like one of my best friends from childhood, actually. He died, and there are details about his death that are still kind of unknown, but the general premise is that he died in a surfing accident. But there's suspicion around like whether he had a heart issue that caused him to not be able to to drown, right? You have a heart attack in the middle of the ocean, you're fucked. But a little quick note on that, and I have to make this joke because comedy is kind of how I cope with sadness and tragedy and whatnot. I've had a bunch of black friends throughout my life. Like at different points in my life, at different times, there were different black guys that were like one of my best friends or in my best friend group. And all of them but one fulfilled the stereotype that they just didn't like water. They didn't like to swim. The one motherfucker that did died in a surfing accident. That motherfucker's not doing much to help with the fucking stereotypes. God damn. So, I joke to Cope, I love you, brother. I know you're up in heaven looking down at me. You're proud of me. He was like just one of the best guys, like just such a quality character. I miss him so much. But I'm not going to blame that on him, or blame the jabby jab. We don't know. He could have just had a freak accident. Anyways, moving on. I don't relish making, that's something I say a lot, is that I don't relish making these videos, because I truly don't. It sucks. This is reality. It's real. We're fucking being poisoned, and it's intentional. And I know you don't want to accept that, but it is what it is. Because that's what fascist fucks do. They poison you. Or commie bastards, either or. There's not a big point in differentiating between fascist fucks and commie bastards. Birds of a feather flock together. They're the same fucking bootlicking, tyrannical, authoritarian bitches that enable this shit. I talk about the Matrix a lot because it's just such a poignant, like, metaphor. The concept of Agent Smith, we can talk about that in relation to the jabby jab, and how the system can literally jump into almost anyone at will. You can be having a normal conversation with someone, and then the topic of the jabby jab comes up, and if they're brainwashed, they'll get super defensive, and then they'll start shaming you and criticizing you and calling you names. That is, if they're still alive. Okay, that was a really bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end this now before I get in too much trouble. Nobody watches these. Fuck you, commies. Love you guys.